Welcome. It is another day, another flow, a different way to look at the body as we flow. You will need a strap or a towel. A towel is perfectly fine, or a really long belt, and some space to put your feet on the wall. Hopefully, you have those things readily available. If not, we can always pretend. So if you don't have wall space and you don't have a strap, that is perfectly okay. We can always use our imagination. It'd be a little bit different, but you would still get the same sensations and idea behind building structure through alignment in our bones. So this week's theme is attaching feet to our pelvis. So we have 10 toes, hopefully. Hopefully you have 10 toes. If not, I'm really sorry about your not having 10 toes, because as we find out, as they're attached to the pelvis, they're very important. They're very important with balance. They're very important with the distribution of weight as we stand, as we hold our weight in a vertical fashion. So, yeah, these things are really important. We don't really think about it. We just think about, the sole of the foot. We have, here, I'll do a little bit for you. I'll stick my foot up here. So we've got our 5 toes. Of course, we've got double that. We've got a big toe mound here below the big toe. We've got the mound here below the little toe. So you'll hear me say big toe mound, little toe mound. And then we have the inside and outside of the heel. So there's these 4 corners of our foot. They create a really nice foundation, just like for your house. Your house needs a foundation. So the 4 corners of our feet are the foundation, and the toes allow us to have dimensional weight. So we can rock back and forth between the heels and the toes, feeling balance in the front, and then as we roll back, we can feel it in the heels. So we're going to feel all of that as we lie on the floor and put our feet against the wall. The reason we're going to do that is because a lot of times we get lost in the sensations of the rest of our body when we're in standing postures. We tend to forget about our feet and how they connect to the earth and how our entire body connects the rest of the way down. So that's why we're highlighting specifically feet to pelvis, because the rest of it comes. I mean, the rest of it's going to be there regardless of whether or not we invite it or not. So as we get started, let's go ahead and begin our practice today in conscious rest. So constructive rest posture, lying on your back with support under the head, and knees are bent, feet are wide on the mat so that your knees can fall in on each other. And just take a couple moments here to get accustomed to being horizontal, allowing the spine to decompress, feeling how the exchange of air has changed in the shape of your lungs. Maybe you notice your heart beating. Maybe you notice my clock ticking. And as we lie here in our conscious rest posture, maybe notice any sensations that might be coming up, any discomfort, specifically in the hips, lower back, maybe even the front of the pelvis, as the front of your legs attach into the front of the pelvis. Notice any discomfort or really just any sensations as we begin to relax. Feeling the breath, watching the breath, noticing the cool air on the inhale, noticing the warmth as we exhale. And while we're here on our back body, let's do a quick little body scan just to give us a good idea of where our body parts are in relation to each other, especially while we're lying in compression on the back body. So back body, bottom of the feet. Let's feel the bottom of the feet. Let's feel all 10 toes. So press in the big toe. So both big toes, press those into the floor and let it go. And as you press each toe, notice any sensations that might just kind of flicker into your mind or body as they connect to your hips. Maybe you notice it all the way up the leg. So let's go one more time with that in mind, pressing into the big toe. Do you feel that in your hip or in your pelvis? Your big toe is attached right here in the front of the pelvis. So you may notice as you press the big toe in, you feel sensation right here in the front of the pelvis, pretty much right where the hip flexors are. So there's big muscles right here in the front of the legs. Go ahead and release the press. Now as we get into the middle of the toes, you might not be able to press them individually, and that's okay. All we're doing is just bringing a little bit of consciousness to the toes. So pressing the second toe in, yes, it may mash all of your toes in, that's okay. But we're just thinking about that second toe. So second toe presses in, maybe you notice it coming out a little bit further. Since we're not standing and we're not holding weight, it's not as noticeable. But second toe is attached just a little bit over closer to the outside of the hips. Now go ahead and release the press. Now our third toe, our keystone toe, if you imagine an arch, there is a stone in the middle of an arch, right in the middle, that holds both sides of the arches together, called the keystone. We have many keystones all over our body that help us hold weight in our structures. So third toe is our keystone, and that's attached pretty much right here on the sides of our hips, right in the middle. So we have the front and the back, and then right here in the middle, right there, right on the side of either hip. Now as we make our way on the outside of the feet, then we start making our way into the outside and the back side of the pelvis. So the fourth toe, press the fourth toe in. See if you can feel any individual press in that toe. Now that toe for me is very quiet. I can't really feel that toe itself, but I can feel a little bit in towards the back body, right here, kind of closer to my tail than before. And now the pinky toe. Let's press that last toe in. Press the last toe in. That one we can really feel. So that one you should be able to feel kind of right back by the tailbone. So as you notice, baby toe, the last toe, holds support in the back body, and your big toe holds your support in your front body. And then everywhere in between is the rest of your toes. So that's how our toes connect to our pelvis. Let's press all 10 toes in. Inhale, pressing all 10 toes, feeling sensations all the way up the legs, in the backs of the legs, in the fronts of the legs. Maybe you notice your heels lift up a little bit, and then feeling the sensation all the way around the pelvis. And as you exhale, go ahead and release the press. Now continuing into the feet and into the back body, we do have the heels. So we have the inside of the heel and the outside of the heel. So while we're here and we don't have weight on our feet, go ahead and roll the heels from side to side. Just notice the outside of the heel, notice the inside of the heel. And maybe if you roll one way and roll the other way, your hips then begin to get little twists in them. So rolling the heels over to the left, you're on the outside of the left heel, on the inside of the right heel, and then rolling to the other side, a little bit of a twist there in the hips. And then if you noticed as well, of course your hips are attached to your spine and the rest of your body, so the rest of your body is probably also starting to twist. It's all connected, all from the feet. So with your inhale, press the right foot into the floor, everything travels left. And then with your exhale, press the left foot into the floor and everything travels right. Just notice that relationship. You can make them as big or as small as you like. And then as you're rolling, you can continue to let the knees rock from side to side if you like. You can come to stillness too. But let's notice the spine. Notice the spine as it attaches to the backside of the pelvis. Here at the sacrum, it is a fused vertebrae. I believe there are 6 or 7 bones fused right there at the base of the spine. The tailbone is at the very tip of it that curls right on the inside. And then all the way up is the spine, attaching all of our major organs, our ribs, and then attached to our ribs, our arms, going all the way up into the neck. So then we're getting into a whole different region of the body that is still in support of our feet. Well, it's supported by our feet. So everything is supported by our feet. And then the crown of the head. So then just notice the back of the head on your blanket or the floor or pillow, rocking it gently side to side from ear to ear, and just adding a little bit of a gentle spiral in the neck, loosening the muscles, tendons, allowing the jaw to relax, allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth, letting the eyes relax. Take a big inhale all the way in, fill the lungs, and let it go. Let's inhale. Let the tail go into the floor. Let the knees come into the chest. Flex the feet. Spread the toes. Gently rock side to side. And as you exhale, let's lengthen the legs. Lengthen the legs, and if you have the wall, go ahead and lengthen your legs all the way until your feet find the wall. So if you have a baseboard, it may make it feel a little funky. That's okay. I have it here too. So yeah, it's a little funky. So both feet on the floor, not the floor, the wall. You can feel both heels. So just as we did a second ago, feel both inside, outside of the heel, and then big toe mound, little toe mound, and all 10 toes. You may have to do a little bit of adjustment if you have a little extra flesh like I do. Here on the back side, it sometimes can get in the way a little bit. That's okay. All right, once you find that comfortable spot, go ahead and with your next inhale, press both feet into the wall. Feel how the press translates into the pelvis and how that translates into the spine and up through the rest of the body. Through the crown of the head. And with your exhale, release the press. If you have a blanket under your head, you can go ahead and remove that. Just kind of place it off to the side so we don't have that angle in the neck. One more time. Inhale, pressing the feet into the wall, lengthening up through the legs, through the pelvis, through the spine, up through the ribs and the lungs, the neck, out of the crown of the head. Exhale, release. With your next inhale, press the left foot into the wall, bringing the right leg, right knee into the chest, hugging it in. And exhale, flexing the right foot, spreading the toes, maybe doing a couple circles with that right ankle. And then switching directions, just adding a little bit of movement into this joint. And continuing that press in the left foot against the wall. What this does, so imagine you're standing right now. Now that I said that, your foot may adjust because you're like, oh wait, if I was standing, I would fall over. Well, this is how our alignment feels as we stand, but again, since we don't have gravity in our feet, we can actually feel gravity in a different way. So when you're ready, go ahead and grab your strap. Go ahead and put the strap around your right foot and lengthen through that right foot. So grabbing the strap on grabbing either side of the strap with both hands, or with each hand, and lengthening through that right foot, through the heel, feeling that sensation in the back of the leg, and continuing the press of the left foot into the wall. With your next inhale, press the left foot in and pull that right foot towards the head. Feel that sensation in the back of the leg. Exhale, press the strap away, and let's point the toes. Let's inhale, pressing the left foot into the wall. Bring the right leg closer to the body. You can bend the knee a little bit, flexing the foot. Feel the sensation in the back side of the leg. Exhale. Press that leg away, pointing the toes. And one more time, inhale. Flexing the foot, bringing the leg closer to the body. Pressing the left foot into the wall, flexing the foot, and exhale, release. Let's grab both sides of the strap with the right hand and place the left hand on the floor next to the left hip. Now let's inhale, just as we did before, pulling that right leg towards the body, flexing the foot, pressing the left foot into the wall. And as you exhale, allow that right leg to gently fall over to the right side, continuing to press through that strap and on the wall. So we want to make sure that this left hip is still on the floor. We don't want to do one of these where we're completely lifted up and unsupported. We want to be right here. So pelvis is square. It should be, the bones should be pretty much parallel with the ceiling. And then as much as you can let that right leg go. Feel that really nice stretch. If you want a little bit more sensation, with your inhales, you can pull the leg closer to the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, pulling that leg towards the body, flexing through that foot, pressing that left foot into the wall. Exhale, release. Let's do one more. Inhale, pull that leg in, press that left foot in, and exhale, release. With your next inhale, brings the right foot up overhead. Switch hands on the strap, so the left hand is now grabbing both sides of the strap. Right hand is on the floor next to the right hip. Exhale, let that leg cross over center and reach over to the left. Your left foot is still on the wall. Any amount of adjustment that you need to do so you can continue to feel that entire left foot on the wall, go for it. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Feeling that really nice sensation on the outside of the hip here. Flexing through that right heel. Oh, if you have tight hips, this is pretty intense. And just breathe. If you want any more sensation, you can pull that leg towards the body. But I'm going to stay right here because my hips are tight today. Releasing tension with your exhales. And as you're ready, let's inhale the right leg back up. And let's draw some circles. So if you're able to draw circles, if your strap is long enough, just going to add a little bit of movement into this right leg. And when you're ready with your inhale, let's hug it in. Go ahead and release the strap. And exhale. Find that wall. Now just take a moment to notice the difference in your right side and your left side of your pelvis. Maybe it feels a little looser. Maybe your right leg is touching the wall a little bit more than your left one. It's probably accurate. But so we don't walk around in circles, we're going to do the left side. So with your next inhale, let's press the right foot into the wall. Let the left knee come into the chest. Hug it in. Flex the foot. Any adjustments you need to do to make sure that that right foot is still on the wall. Hugging the left knee in. Let's do some circles with that left ankle. A couple times one way and then switching directions. Flex and point. And then go ahead and grab your strap. Strap-a-do. Strap it up. All right, and lengthen that left leg. So both sides of the strap are in your hands. Right foot is on the wall, providing support. And then just noticing the sensation in the back of the left leg. Let's inhale, flex the foot, pull the leg towards you, pressing the right foot into the wall. Exhale, press the strap away from you, pointing the foot. Inhale, flexing, pulling the leg towards the body. And the exhale pulls the strap away, point the toes. One more time. Inhale, pull that foot towards the body, flexing through the heel, feeling that really nice sensation. And exhale, pressing the strap away, pointing the toes. Now let's grab the strap in the left hand. Right hand will go on the floor next to the right hip. Let's inhale and exhale. As we let that exhale release, let's let the left leg fall over to the left. Right hip, right hand, right foot are all in contact with their surfaces. We want to stay grounded so that we can rise and move. We always want to find support before we move. Noticing any sensations here. If you want a little bit more sensation with your inhales, you can pull that leg towards the body, exhaling, releasing. And with your breath, your movement. As you're ready, let's inhale the leg up through center. Switch hands on the strap. Left hand goes on the floor next to the left hip. Inhale, and as you exhale, let the left leg fall over to the right, crossing center. You might even end up completely up on your right hip, which is fine. Just keep that right foot on the wall. Feel your heel, feel your toes on the wall. Left shoulder, right shoulder are still on the floor if that's available. If you want any more sensation, you can turn the head to the left. And if this is enough, just stay here and breathe. Again, my hips are very tight, so this is sufficient for me. But if you do want any more sensation here, with your inhales, pull the strap towards the body, and exhale, press it away. Really feeling that sensation in the outside of this hip. And of course, you can add any kind of movement you want here. Just make sure you're still keeping that support in the foot against the wall. All right, as you're ready, let's inhale that leg up, slowly rolling onto the back. And then let's do some circles. Just adding movement back into this very large joint. This very large ball and socket. A lot of range of motion in the hips. But there are a lot of tissues. A lot of, so your front body, back body, and spiral line and deep front line tissues all intersect here at the hips. So there's a lot of intersections happening. That's why we get so tight. All right, go ahead and release the strap. Hug that left knee in. Press the right foot into the wall. And then exhale, lengthen the left leg, find the wall. And just for a moment, notice how your hips feel. Mine feel good. All right, with your next inhale, tail goes down, knees come into the chest. Let's rock gently side to side. Let the arms come out to a T, palms face up. Inhale and exhale. Let the knees fall over to the left. A little bit of a spiral. The head looks right. With the next inhale, let's completely turn onto our left side and just lie here on our side for just a moment so that we can continue. We're still in arrival. Can you believe that? Our entire practice is basically an arrival practice. Today, at least. So just feeling the compression here on the left side of the body. Allowing the hips rest in a different position. Noticing that on your side, your hips are stacked. So if you ever notice when you're sleeping on your side, your hips might hurt after a while. Mine do. But that's why. It's just because you have a lot of weight in these hips. That's okay. All right, let's slowly roll onto the other side. So inhale, let's bring the knees into the belly, gently roll. Just allow the knees to roll over to the right side. Keep your back on the floor. Little gentle twist, turning your head to the left. And maybe take a breath or two here. And as you're ready, let's roll completely over onto the right side. Knees are bent. And we'll spend just a couple moments here on the right side. Just noticing how the gravity has shifted in our bodies. Noticing our hips are stacked the opposite way. Inhale, and with your exhale, let's lengthen the legs. You may find the wall, that's okay. Let's roll onto the belly. So if your feet are on the wall, go ahead and come away from the wall just enough so that the tops of your feet can feel the floor. Okay. And then set yourself up for belly down, so Makrasana. So let's stack the hands, place the forehead on top of the hands if that's available and comfortable. Let the front side of the pelvis to feel the compression of the floor, maybe even allow the thighs to roll out from underneath the body. The toes might point outward. And you may even allow the legs to get a little wide. This feels really good on my hips. I don't know about you. But this is a really nice rest for my hips. All right. Oh, that feels so good. I could lay there all day. All right. A little bit more movement, then we'll restore and shavas. So let's bring both hands underneath the shoulders. Let's bring the feet back to hips distance apart. Tops of the feet are nice and active on top of the mat. Shoulder blades are drawn in towards the spine. Elbows are in towards the body. Feeling all 10 fingers, the entire palm on the floor, feeling the top of the feet on the floor. Let's inhale, press the hands into the floor, allow the heart to come up just a little bit, reaching back through those toes, and exhale, coming back to the floor. Inhale, pressing the hands in, coming up just a little bit more of a cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, pressing the hands in, letting the heart come up, reaching back through those feet, maybe even swaying a little bit in the hips. Exhale, release. And with this next one, let's inhale, press the hands in, press the knees, tops of the feet in, let the tail rise, and let's come up into a table. Fix your shirt. All right, here in a table, so find that wall behind you. You can find it where if you extend and there's the wall, perfect. So hands are about half step in front of the shoulders. We're not right on top because our wrists are very delicate. We don't want to hurt those wrists. And let's inhale, press both hands into the floor. Allow the spine to reach up towards the ceiling, bringing the belly in, tail and chin. Look towards each other. And exhale. A little cat-cow. Just a little movement in the spine here. Inhale, cat. Pressing the floor away, bringing the belly in. Exhale. Belly comes down. So let's notice the tilt in the pelvis as we do cat and cow. So let's even start with the pelvis. So here in a neutral table, nice flat back. So our pelvis, all I'm doing here, just notice how my body changes just as I shift through my pelvis. So nice and neutral, let's inhale. Let's tilt the pelvis forward. You may notice the belly lengthens and lengthen up through the chin. So the entire front body is lengthening and the entire back body is shortening. And then let's exhale. Tilt the pelvis in, or I guess, yeah. Since we're in a different dimension, it's hard to figure out. No, now we're tilting the pelvis in, so the pubic bone is coming in towards the heart, the chin is tucking in, our spine is reaching up towards the ceiling. All right, inhale, tilting that pelvis forward, like we're pouring water out of it, and exhale, tilt it back. Let's do one more from the pelvis. Inhale, tilting the pelvis forward, and exhale, tilting the pelvis back. Coming to a neutral table, let's press both hands into the floor. Let the right foot rise and reach back through the right heel, finding the wall. So if you press into the hands, you should notice that relationship. As I press into the hands, my right foot presses back. And then shift the weight into the right hand. Let the left hand reach up. So right hand is pressing into the wall, or right foot is pressing into the wall, right hand is pressing into the floor, and the left knee and foot are pressing into the floor. So we're finding this really nice balance with support from our feet. Inhale, reach, and exhale, bring it to the floor. Let's go to the left side. Inhale, pressing both hands into the floor, reaching back through that left heel, finding the wall. Exhaling. And with the next inhale, shift your weight into the left hand. Bring the right hand up and reach it forward like you're going to shake someone's hand. And find that balance. So the right leg is on the floor. Really feel the top of that right foot. Feel that left hand, all 10 fingers. And reach through this right hand. Inhale, pressing the left hand or left foot into the wall, reaching through the right hand. And exhale, bring it all back down. Quick cat-cow. Inhale, tilting the pelvis forward. Exhale, tilting the pelvis back. All right. Let's walk the knees forward, cross the ankles, sit back, come here and seated for just a moment. Go ahead and grab your strap again. And then we'll find ourselves here in staff pose. So sitting up nice and tall. You can even find the wall, actually. If you'd like to find the wall, this is kind of a nice, feels good. Feel the support of the wall. Find your strap. Strap it around your feet. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's inhale. Pull the feet in. Maybe you notice as you pull into the feet, the chest comes forward. Keep a nice flat back. And then inhale it back up. Finding the wall. Exhale. Inhale. Pulling into the strap. Lengthening through those heels. Bringing the belly towards the thighs, the heart forward, nice flat back. Exhale. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, forward. Maybe even tuck the chin. Feel that sensation in the back body. Breathe here for maybe 2 breaths. And let your inhale lift you back up. Finding the wall. That feels nice, doesn't it? All right, go ahead and release your strap. And just for fun, let's go wide-legged. We'll inhale, lengthen up, and exhale. We're just going to come forward. I want a little bit of a stretch here on the inside. So flexing the feet, continue flexing the feet. Walk the hands away from the body. Keep that spine nice and long. We're just bringing the belly forward. Couple pulses here. And then we'll go ahead and come to seated. And we need a restorative posture for you. So actually our restorative posture is going to be legs up the wall. Viparita Karani. That's what it's called. So let's make our way back to the floor. I'm sure you're already on the floor. That's fine. And there's a couple different ways to get your feet up the wall. My favorite way, if you kind of sit next to the wall and then roll back, you can kind of scoot that way. And yeah. So feet up the wall. You can be as close or as far away from the wall. I mean, you want to be relatively close. I'm about a hand's width away from the wall. But you can come away a little further than if you'd like. Maybe let the legs be a little wide. And then once you find that spot where you can just kind of let it go, find that moment. Feel the gravity in the back of the pelvis. This is a wonderful restorative posture for circulation. It challenges the heart. In a good way. Like exercise. But this is a nice low impact way to just kind of help exercise your circulatory system. Kind of be like, hey, heart, you got it in you? And your heart's like, yeah, let's do this. And if you're like me, your toes might fall asleep after a little bit. And that's okay. It happens. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Let's bring the soles of the feet to the wall. Maybe let them come down the wall a little bit, bending the knees, letting the thighs come into the chest. Just resting here for a moment. You could also do butterfly legs, so bring soles of the feet together. You might have to scoot a little closer to the wall, but this feels nice too. Actually, I like to support my knees. Or if you have a lot of wall space, you can let the legs go wide like that. But I do not have a lot of wall space, so I can't really do that. All right, let's get out of this. So let's gently roll over to a side. Let the knees come off the wall. And then let's set up for Shavasana. So if you're going to stick around for Shavasana, at the very least, I always recommend blanket under the head or pillow, and then support underneath the backs of the knees. And your Shavasana can be as long as you'd like it to be. If I were to make a recommendation, I'd say at the very least 3 minutes. So I'll just show you real quickly how to set up for your Shavasana. So really, as we began, is perfectly fine. Just allows the body to come into rest. Now you stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you'd like to get out of your Shavasana, gently roll over to a side. Take about a breath or 2 here. And as you're ready, go ahead and come up into seated. If you're in Shavasana and you're enjoying it, please stay there. Just enjoy it. You can always watch the rest of this video later. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Let's inhale and exhale. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope this sets up your week to be fantastic. Nice and hippy dippy. But yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a really excellent week and that everything is amazing. Namaste. Thank you.